Davante Adams, Derek Carr presser coming up. And we got some more Raiders news to talk about. It's hump day. It's Wednesday. Y'all know what it is. It's all going down next right here on Hammers.House.
The United States are strongly encouraged to shelter in place to avoid being attacked or taken hostage. To shelter in place, take the following precautions. Close all windows and doors, and all lights.
Welcome to the official, the original, the only house for Las Vegas Raiders news, rumors, updates, and reactions. Welcome to Hammers.House. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday wherever you guys are at. Let's do a quick roll call and go into some Raiders news. Willie Wayne, Milk A. Beasy, Raiders C-Dub, Anthony Estrada, Sinister Rain, Lil Tiger. Hope everybody's doing well. Appreciate y'all pulling on up. This came up a little too early, but oh well. Y'all know the routine when you come on in, though. Break them thumbs, hit them subs, smash the bell for all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, and reactions. We do have some news. This is reported a little over a half hour ago. The Raiders have signed tackle Jackson Barton to their active roster. We also brought back defensive tackle Kyle Pecco and Bryce Crosby to our practice squad. As you guys know, Hankins was traded yesterday to the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, maybe Pecco could be a guy, again, rotational depth piece on the interior right now until we figure out exactly what moves are going to be made. We're still a couple days away from the trade deadline. I know we talked a lot last night with Docs and Wasted about moves that should be made, moves that could potentially be made. There are some targets out there. Was looking at a website earlier today. I believe it was Raider Ramble. And they were talking about potential 3 guys that we should definitely be targeting right now at this point in time as we approach the trade deadline. One is Roquan Smith. Look, Perryman has been the best linebacker that we've had so far. Jayon Brown was supposed to be a guy that we thought was going to be the guy for as a coverage linebacker. He really has not lived up to the hype thus far. We did bring in Blake Martinez not too long ago. Blake Martinez, we saw what he did against the Texans. Not a bad job. Again, another tackling machine, so he was finding the holes and making plays when he can. Divine Diablo, another one. He's in the top 10 for tackles right now in the league, but still another guy that really can't cover all that great. Roquan Smith currently leads the league in tackles with 78. He's tallied 2.5 sacks so far. No other player on our roster outside of Max Crosby has more than 1 sack. So it would be nice to bolster up the linebacking core as well. Defensive tackle and corners are other spots that I feel that we need to fill, and I think a lot of us can agree on that. William Jackson III, the corner from Washington, is another guy that we've talked about. Where Hobbs is out for the next 4 weeks. Anthony Averett came back. Wasn't too impressed with him. Granted, he missed 4 of the first 6 games with injury, and he's only played 30% of the snaps. I don't know. I think with Hobbs out due to injury, this would be a huge upgrade for us right now, getting William Jackson. I'm kind of on board for that. I see a lot of other people coming on in. So Jose Toscano, my son Prez, Raiders Pimpin' Ain't Easy. Brandon Oliver just got over COVID. Sorry for missing so many live streams, bro. I'm just glad you're better. That's all that matters. Glad you're better. Glad you're here. Appreciate you. Who else is in here? I think we caught up with everybody. Again, Hobbs being out due to injury. for at least the next 3 games. I think that's a piece that we're definitely going to need. I stated it for quite some time now that realistically, the best way for us to be a Super Bowl contender at this time was filling the voids at the defensive tackle and the cornerback position. I hear little feet. Hold on one second. Let me see if this one's trying to make an appearance. Hold on. I hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, the monster among pups. Come up. 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 No, he doesn't want to come up. But, ladies and gentlemen, look who's here. Titan is in the building. The monster among pups is here. What's up, little man? You okay? All right. So that's 2 that we talked about. Stop pushing me. I'm doing a live. Stop pushing me. Third on the list right now. Jesus. Actually, third on the list would be Darren Payne. Another commander. I know we talked about maybe a trade, some type of trade that can get both of these guys here, but I think it's going to be one or the other. We currently have 9 sacks as a team right now, with Max having 6 of them. We're dead last right now in sacks. We got 1 sack from Perryman, 1 sack from Hobbs, and half a sack. They split a full sack, pause, Clee and Chandler Jones. Bilal Nichols, he has the most pressures, but he's not getting inside like we thought he would. Titan, relax. Look, with Payne, he's a guy by himself. He has 3.5 sacks, 12 pressures. He is a very vital presence and would be a very vital presence for us. He would cause those problems on the interior. He could probably get some sacks, and it'll open up the opportunities for more by Max and more by Chandler Jones. So those would be 3 guys I would definitely love to have here. Titan, chill out. Those are 3 guys I would absolutely love to have here right now. We take this as it goes. We have a total of about 13 to 14 draft picks going into the 2023 draft right now, which is amazing. If we can use some of these, and I'm not saying first, second round picks this time around, but if the moves make sense, then go for it. If they fit this defensive scheme, and these are guys that are going to help push this team in the right direction moving forward the rest of this regular season, then I'm here for it. Go for it. This one's doing laps in here with me, and normally I leave the door closed. I don't allow him to come in here. Should we trade for Quentin with Williams? Wait, what? Do you mean Quentin Williams? Is that who? I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen. Do you think a deal done with Jacobs before the offseason begins? Because Jacobs is Tiger, no. And the reason I'm saying this is because of right now, look, we should have never spent that type of money that we did on Waller. A guy that the last time was fully healthy realistically and put up serious numbers was 2020. I think right now there's a good chance that we can franchise tag Josh Jacobs. And I was looking at something earlier today. I'm going to see if I can find it, because when I read it, I was like, this actually kind of makes sense. Here we go. I'm going to try to pull this up if I can. So this was from RaidersBeat.com, and pretty much it was saying how we only gambled about $1.5 million declining Jacobs' 5th-year option. Now, we know what Jacobs has done these last couple of weeks. He's been on a huge tear. He's in the top 3 right now for rushing yards, and a lot of other categories. He's either number 1 or in the top 3. Dude, chill out. Look, we have $108 million in salary cap allocated to the offense next year. And only 58 invested in defense. Like, we really need to figure out what we're doing defensively. But realistically, like, it's been pointed out that we obviously put a lot of money into this offense. And I don't know at this point what the possibility is. But it doesn't seem like it was a mistake of declining this 5th-year option. Like, it would cost us $1.5 million more than what his 5th-year option was, but I'm. It's tough to say. And again, this is something that I really haven't wanted to talk about as we're still in season right now. I don't know what the possibilities are. I want him to stay healthy and finish strong. That's what I realistically want to see out of Jacobs. At this point, now I did say earlier in the season, especially with as deep as the running back room was, that I didn't see him carrying the load. I didn't see him getting 1,000 yards. He might have been sniffing it. At this point, he keeps going the way he is. He's probably on pace for well over 1,500 rushing yards, and I'm here for it. Like I said, I'm a huge supporter of Josh Jacobs. I've been a fan before he was drafted by us. I coined him as Baby Beast Mode and was dying to have him in silver and black. Again, if he stays healthy, I think we're going to be fine, but we're not paying him right now, and we will cross that bridge when we get to it. I feel like I'm missing a lot of people that came on in here, and I apologize for that. I'm trying to look. I'm looking. Damn it. 808, what's good? Big Worm. What up, Big Worm? BL's in the building. Abel, salute. Alfredo, salute. Greg, what's good? We will have the presser when it starts. If you guys want. The best thing I could tell you guys to do right now, especially with everybody over on the Raiders YouTube channel, sitting there watching a rotating shield, bring them over here. Like, you're going to sit there and watch a shield as opposed to having somebody that can engage with you guys right now in front of the camera. Raid that Raiders chat right now for that presser. Flood it. And get people over here, because there's no reason to sit there and watch a rotating shield for a half hour. You could sit here and just bullshit with me. Hey, my brother, can you please provide some insight? Is Merrick trash? I've never seen him make plays ever. All right. He's in his sophomore year. Last year, I was highly under the belief that quarterbacks did not want to test him, and it really showed that they didn't try. A few opportunities where he had interceptions right there, and nope, that's a dub. Like, he just didn't bring them in. Apparently, I'm hearing things here and there that he's still dealing with this hip injury. I don't know if that's how valid it is or if that's an excuse. I say give him some time. I don't want to write him off yet. I really don't. I gotta just take him on a week by week basis and see what the possibilities are. At least he's making himself available on to play right now. At least he's making himself available on the field. That's how I feel about it. I think we have to give him time though. Hassan Terrell, welcome. Again, those that are on the outside looking in, I don't even think I stated this yet, but if you're on the outside looking in right now and wondering why you're not in the chat, it's because you're not subscribed to the channel. Hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing. Chat it up. Have some fun. Pinned to the top is the memberships and the Hammers.House pink merch for the month of October. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. All the proceeds are going directly to the Susan G Komen Foundation for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We have, 5 days left? So cop your Hammers.House merch in pink, as you guys can see right there. There you go. Charm City was good. Graham Cam, we don't need any more linebackers. We need a better defensive tackle push to allow the linebackers we already have effectively to do their job. Graham Cam. So what defensive tackle are you preferring or think that we should have here? I gave you guys a list of 3 players that we could potentially get. 3 guys that we should definitely be targeting at this point in time. I think Deron Payne should be that guy to come here, but again, we have less than a week. We'll find out if it happens. Bill Gates, we talked about this last night. The current injury report from what I saw yesterday, he is still questionable at this point in time. November is Turkey Awareness Month. Silence of peace for those turkey people going to eat turkey. Oh my God, here we go. Nation Nightmare, salute. Again, everybody that's in here right now, if you haven't, y'all know the routine. Break them thumbs, hit them subs, smash the bell. Hammer the other day on Dirty Late Night discussing the deal for Jacobs. I said 40 million 4 years, 10 million a year. Your son Prez says too much. Your thoughts? Look, the value is different than it once was. I think that is way too much. I think that reasonably right now, you're probably going to look at him to get maybe a 3-year deal, if that. And you're probably going to be looking at the ballpark of an annual salary of maybe 9.5 to a little under 10 million a year. Again, it depends on where the market value is. I still think that maybe he should be franchise tagged going into the season. I think we go the Kirk Cousins route and just franchise tag the shit out of him for a couple of years. But we'll see, man. Big Worm said 3 and 10 year. What are you talking about? Yoshi was good. Salute, salute, salute. LC, salute. I don't know who. We just need better player in general. Graham Cam, yeah, you're preaching to the choir, man. Like, we need a defensive tackle. We've needed the defensive tackle before we even got into the start of the regular season. So, again, less than a week away. We see if any moves, if any splashes are made. We have 10.5 million, 10.8 to be exact. In what the hell is that? 10.8 million in cap space right now. I don't see why we can't make moves, but we shall take this as it goes and see what Ziegler and the rest of the organization have up their sleeve. Look, we traded Hankins yesterday, and we just saved about $1.5 million. So I don't know. 3 years, 10 min. Wait, what? 3 years, 10 min a year. No, I said 3 years. The average would be like anywhere between 9.5, but not quite 10. I'll say 9 to 9.5 on average. Abram is Abram. I kind of wish that we could find some type of suitor to take him. We know where he's best suited, and that's in the box as a coverage safety. He's terrible. Like, we're talking about this matchup this coming week against the Saints, and who's going to cover a guy like Kamara? Who's going to cover a guy like Taysom Hill? I suggested maybe putting Abram in the box, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Tyson, what's good? Ace Rasta, Wagwan. What I say, what I know. Hard Conversations, what up, Hammer? Jacob's biggest fan, but an extra mil to see if he can stay healthy. His money well spent. Franchise for the next 2 all day. There you go. There you go. There you go. It's not a matter of. See, that's the thing. He might deserve it. I've talked numbers before, and the last 2 extensions that we gave, I was fucking dead on with the shits. But, like, I want to see what he does the rest of the year. I want to see him stay healthy, and that's it. Tyson, Sterling versus Sugar Tits. That's who we talking about? Sugar Tits O'Malley? Do you even have to ask who I got? Come on, bro. Come on. And still. I'm going to leave it at that. And still. Yo, guys, if you can, flood the Raiders YouTube channel and get people to come on over here. They're sitting there watching a rotating shield. I'm looking at the rotating shield right now. Shit is kind of annoying. You already knew that, though. You already knew what my answer was going to be. Who's getting mad? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Again, I sit here and do what I do. You guys do not have to agree with everything I say. You guys don't have to agree with my opinions. Just as much as I don't agree with yours. We can have these conversations. There ain't no hate here. I'm not mad. Like, stop. How do you feel about the Kyle Pecco pickup? Malo, what's good? Like, How do I feel about the Pecco pickup? Pecco was a guy that I didn't think was going to make the roster initially. He's on the practice squad. We traded Jonathan Hankins. We did activate Jackson Barton to our 53-man roster. look, if it's somebody that's familiar and no other team wants, hey, I don't know. If he eventually makes the active roster and just becomes that rotational piece, then I'm for it. If he's on the practice squad, he's on the practice squad. There you go, Big Worm. I was trying to put it nicely, but there you go. And shout out to Jose Toscano on the 199. Hammer, Reigns, or Paul. You know where I'm going with that one. Jose Ortega, what is good? What's up, Hammer? Que pasa, amigo? Are you doing play-by-play this coming? So, I was kind of waiting to tell you guys this. I really was waiting to tell you guys exactly what we have going on this coming weekend. But I will be at Barco in or on the Jersey Shore this coming Sunday, and I will be doing live play-by-play of this game. I will be with the Jersey Shore Raider Booster Club, and also there will be a special guest who may make an appearance on camera as well. I'm not giving that part away, but yes, I will be live this coming Sunday for this game between the New Orleans Saints and the Las Vegas Raiders. So you guys definitely are not going to want to miss that. All that talk of us doing a move, it was all to open up a roster spot for Bars. Is that what it was? I was a bit surprised when we traded Big Hank, but the only one-year deal and saved us some money. Billings and Nichols have been playing well enough to let him go. I feel like I haven't seen Hank as on the field that much, so I feel like if he wasn't a guy that really stood out to me, then it was maybe best for business that we didn't have him moving forward, and he's on the last year anyways. Put in a Luminor defensive tackle since he's so disruptive on offense. He might do this. Ha! Circus has some shit. Yeah. Fucking stupid. Yo, you're horrible. Jose Toscano on the 199. Hammer, what's your opinion on Alex Bars? Look, he did a good job this past weekend. Again, this offensive line has looked very good when it's come to the run game. I'm still very concerned about our pass protection. Carr did get sacked once this past weekend. I think it's better to have him at the right guard, put Parham at the left guard, and again, we had this conversation about Luminor the other day. Luminor is there as a starter for like a series, and then McDaniels is like, okay, I'm sick of your shit. Mumford, go do your thing. Should we trade? Leonard Williams is not happening. He is owed way too much. I saw that contract yesterday. Alex Bars definitely does look like a bully. He definitely does. Leonard Williams' contract is way too fucking big. Pause. I looked at it the other day. I think he's a unrestricted free agent after 2024. He signed like a 3-year, $63 million deal with about $45 million of it guaranteed. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Got to say, your boy Martinez looked nice in the linebacking core. Another tackling machine, just like Perryman. I'm still wondering what happened to Jayon Brown. He was supposed to be this great cover linebacker. We're not seeing it. Divine Diablo, who is a safety in college, drafted by Gruden and the fuck-around gang, put him as the outside linebacker. He's getting tackles, but he's not covering as well. And it's a concern when you're playing outside linebacker. You got to be able to cover the flats. You got to be able to cover hook the curls. You need to be able to cover anything that crosses your fucking face. And right now, it's just, what's going on? What is the issue? Granted, again, he's making plays. He's a tackling machine, just as alongside these other guys. But you got to be able to cover too. I would love to see him with a fucking pick, potentially a pick 6, but. Saw Illuminor working with the ones today. God help us all. No discipline at all. I can't stand watching him on the field for us right now. All right, pressure started, y'all. Here we go.
just over 2, maybe 215, maybe, I think, from where we were. We were south in Bakersfield. Yeah. We weren't too far from the Grapevine.
You all good, Robbie? Yeah, we're good. All right, guys, go ahead. Questions for Derek?
From the last game, the play action pass we went through off the ball. What do you think you saw from the Texans that allowed it to work out so well? How can you compare that forward?
Yeah, I think it all starts with how we run the football. When I turn my back and stick the ball out to Josh's stomach, people have to believe it, and so we were able to hit some good play action passes, and but that all stems from the offensive line and Josh going to work. And so if we want to keep doing that, we got to keep running the ball well, and be able to have both phases. And so a lot of execution and all that kind of stuff comes into play, but yeah.
When we see you move up in the pocket, there was a couple plays where you did that. How much of that is just improvising, but also practicing and also knowing your offensive line and getting a better handle on the offensive line? Yeah,
I mean, and learning the scheme. When you're sliding, where's the double team? Where are the easier spots to get into, and all that kind of stuff. And knowing those things as a quarterback, knowing their rush plan as you go throughout the game, how teams want to rush you and put pressure on the quarterback and things like that. So a lot of it's that. A lot of it's just reactive. Some of it's that, and some of it is just by play design. I'm just trying to step up. Sometimes trying to look. I can't really see over Colton sometimes. He is 6'9". So some of it is that too. But whenever I can make space, really, I'm just trying to buy time to find space to be able to get the ball in my hands to our playmakers.
We've seen some trick plays from you guys. As players, do you guys kind of like that when you see it in the playbook?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun to in practice, everyone talking trash to Josh if he can throw or not, and all that kind of stuff. And so it's fun. I mean, we have a lot of fun with them, and we feel if you rep them enough, they're not really a trick play. It's just a play you just execute at a high level. And so we were able to hit one, and really we think we ran 2 last game. And so we always, every team always has them, but Josh, it's up to him. Does he like how he saw it in practice and calling them and things like that.
When is your catch coming?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Hopefully someday. I don't know. I think I'm at negative yards right now because I caught a ball batted back to me. So one day, maybe.
What led to the success in the red zone this week compared to the struggles that you've had in previous weeks this year?
I think one that was awesome is we just ran it in. I think we had 3 plays, 3 touchdowns, and if you count the one on the 26, that's 4 plays. And so. Going back to the KC game too, we were able to score from distance. When we got down there, we were able to execute on the run play down there, and we just can't hurt ourselves with penalties. And it takes, again, in offensive football, it takes all 11 doing right. And when all 11 do right, to us, we believe that we should have a successful play. And if we can keep doing that, hopefully we can have success. But this team that we're playing this week is unbelievable in situational football.
Could you talk about Thayer's maturation, please?
Yeah.
He seems to be looking where he was in OTA stories now as a different player.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's worked really hard, and from when he came in, you're like, okay, you could see the talent, but you're just like, he's just not there yet, like every rookie, and that's not a knock. That's just a fact for all of us that come into the league. And so, as he kept working, and all of a sudden we got into camp, and you're like, this guy, he's on to something, he's taking the coaching, he's retaining all the information, and he's still a rookie, so he'll have mistakes and things like that. But been very proud of the work that he's put in, because he's been able to come in, and help us play some really solid football for us.
You only had him as your head coach for 4 games, but he drafted you. And
yeah.
What are those feelings like when you look across the field and see DA over there for the first time, being the head coach again for the first time since he was with you as a rookie?
Yeah, DA and I have a great relationship, still to this day, and I still talk to him and things like that. Obviously not this week, and all those things, but we've always kept in contact. I've always been close. I love him. I loved having him. Obviously, I didn't know what had gone on before I got here, so all of a sudden, boom, it's 4 games, boom, he's gone. I'm like, what the heck, is this how it's supposed to go? Like, what is going on? And come to find out all the cap problems and this and that and all the things that he had to try and work through, is tough. And then you see him leave and all the success that he's had as a defense coordinator, and so to see him get another chance at being a head coach, I was so happy for him because I loved him. He's brilliant mind, really smart, cerebral. Can break down an offense, can really put pressure on quarterbacks, make it hard on them. And, from a quarterback perspective as a defensive coach, I had a great relationship with him. We were open communication for the short time that we had. And I'll never forget, he gave me my chance in this league, and I've told him 100 times, and I'll tell him 100 more times how thankful I am for the chance that he not only drafted me, but to trust me when he, asked me if I was ready to start, and obviously, the rest is history. So it's crazy that it's almost been 10 years now, that it's been that long, but, him and I, we've always, stayed close, again, obviously, except this week.
Did losing him, was that kind of like your first introduction to all you've learned a lot about the business, and you've been through a lot. Yeah. And from a business perspective, was that like the first lesson of that's what this is now?
Yeah, 100%. Like that, because I was like, you're just so caught up in man, I'm in the NFL and I'm starting as a rookie. They told me I wasn't going to play, for a while. They were going to build the team around me, and then all of a sudden, hey, you ready? I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go. And so, yeah, I think all the emotions of it, then all of a sudden you're hit with that, out in London, and you're like, dang, and I just got hurt, really for the first time. I'm like, bro, what is going on? This sucks. Is this what it's like all the time? And so I got welcomed into the league pretty quick with that. And so obviously you guys know we've been through a lot. A lot of us that have been here have been through a lot for some years, right? But hopefully that's done. So.
You got Darren back on the practice field today. It's been a little bit of stop and start with him going all the way back to training camp. Has that made it difficult, especially with a new offense, getting him acclimated and getting on the same page and everything like that? Yeah. That process has been a little bit difficult because of that?
Yeah, I think probably more so for him. He's probably frustrated. No one wants to get hurt. Like I said after the game, you get hit in the ribs. You're like, you don't want to miss a play, let alone a game, or more games. And so I know, especially the kind of competitor is, the kind of person that he is. I know it was eating him up, to have to miss. But the timing and all that kind of stuff that we have together, that'll help us to a certain extent. It's a new playbook, it's a new system, it's new reads, those kind of things. So, but we've had a lot of time in OTAs and training camp and in games and during the season. But it'd be great to have everybody healthy and just see what we can turn it into. But yeah, I think he could talk on it better. But he's you guys know him. He's always positive, and so if he's frustrated, he hasn't shown it. But I'm just banking on him being human.
Do you have an idea of what this could look like when everybody is healthy and out there on the field together?
I think we saw it a couple of times in practices. We've had glimpses of it in games, here and there. But that doesn't mean anything. That's just a fact. We have to go out there and do it. It doesn't matter what you do in the off season. It doesn't matter all that stuff. You got to put the work in. You got to do it together. It's going to be hard. It's got to be gritty. It's going to be physical. It's aggressive. It's violent. It's a tough game. And so you got to be able to have everyone, all 11, push through that, and then you can see what it looks like. But hopefully we can at some point get everyone out there healthy. In the NFL, that's hard to do. And everyone has stepped up and played good football for us. But if we can do that, then we can find out. But for the time being, it doesn't promise us anything.
Seeing from the Saints defense on tape, and obviously Teron Matthew, you're familiar with. He's familiar with you. How much of an impact do you think he'll have in their preparation for you guys this week?
Yeah, him and I, we know each other well, and we've talked, off the field, and we know each other. Great respect for one another when it comes to playing this game. The things that he's been able to do, to see where from college, his story, the injuries, different teams, all the success, the Super Bowl, all of those things, the player that he's become and the man that he's become is, I'm just happy for him and all that. And, especially with a coach like, DA, just to move him around and be able to do things with him, intensify his skill set, he's going to put him on display. And so he's made a lot of big plays over there, especially in Kansas City. And he's made plays, here at New Orleans. And it doesn't surprise me. He's a really good football player. He's one of the best safeties in our game. And he can be in the box, up high, cover two, blitzing. He does everything. And when you have a guy that can do a lot, you can do a lot with him. And he's a competitor, too. That's one thing I can say about him. He's a great competitor. And this defense, all of them are physical. They're violent at the point of attack. They're aggressive. And there's a lot of great people on that defense that I've gotten to know over the years. and none of us like each other this week, but I do have respect for those guys. Whenever we're not playing them.
One or two more guys. There are a lot of teams have kind of phased out the fullback position. Yeah. Like they don't even have them on the roster sometimes anymore. But you've had some good ones, Alec and then now with Yako.
Yeah.
I guess what does a fullback bring to the offense, and what does it look like? How does it help the quarterback?
Man, what's crazy is even going back to my rookie year with Marcel Reese and then Alawale, and these guys that not only could be a thumper, and open up holes, but run routes and catch the ball, and I've been around different fullbacks, but having that part of the offense, with everyone going to the 11 personnel and all the receivers and the big plays and all this kind of stuff, it brings an element of, some teams don't practice it anymore. There is an element of that, that there's different formations, there's different people on the field for them. It's not, just 5 DBs all the time. I mean, they're playing their base groupings and all those things. So having all those things, it's, just speaking in general terms in football, like, for years you watched teams like the Saints, when Gru was here, and with Josh, they've always just had different personnel groupings to just make it hard on defenses. And, from what I've seen, those guys have had a lot of success. Kyle Shanahan's another guy. They have a great fullback, they use him well, and they do things with him in the routes and in the backfield and all that. And it just gives you different fronts and different looks.
All set?
Good. Thanks, guys. Yep.
All right, there you have it. DC is done. Now we're sitting here patiently waiting probably another half hour before Davante comes on. But I appreciate y'all pulling on up. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. We got 93 in the chat right now from what I'm seeing. I don't know how many likes. I don't really care. If you haven't already, though, break them thumbs, y'all. That's all y'all need to do. Break them thumbs. If you're on the outside looking in, if you want to be part of the conversation with the rest of the Raider Nation, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. Actually, it's supposed to be a weekly with Davante. It's supposed to be a weekly with Davante Adams and Derek Carr, but apparently it's only DC today. So I guess the presser is over. Apparently. We would have a field day with them in there. Seriously. We would probably have a field day. We'd probably get them to really... We would probably ask some questions that everybody else is afraid to ask, and we might get answers. We might not get answers, but yeah. Yeah, there doesn't look like there's any Tay today. No Tay Day. Let me fix the volume or change it back to the speakers. But yeah, I can't. Are we concerned Tay not showing up? No, because Tay doesn't look that whole incident with the misdemeanor assault, old bitch shit. He doesn't go to court for that until November 10th. There's nothing going on right now. They can't fucking suspend him at this point in time, as a punishment has not come down by the courts or the judge. I don't think there's anything to be concerned about. He just didn't do it today. You can't hear me now? Here we go. We always get that one person that can't hear me. You can't hear me? Because watch, I'm going to get too loud and you guys are going to get angry. Test, test, test. Can you guys hear me now? Is that better? If you guys can hear me, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up, please. Haters are silent and quiet with questions when Raiders be winning. That's a fact. All right. So we're good. We're good. Appreciate you guys. Oh, there was some other news today that I didn't even get to bring to your guys' attention. Apparently Waller was back at practice today. He must have heard me. He must have heard a couple of other Raider content creators shitting on him. So now apparently he's back at practice today. I'm waiting, as everybody else is, for the latest, this will be the first of the week of the injury report as we're going into week 8 versus the New Orleans Saints. Nothing has come out yet at this point in time. It is now 6:08. It actually should be out at this point. I say give it another 45 minutes or so and we'll be able to pull that up and have it out for you guys. Pause. Jesus. Last night was out of control with the pause patrol and the pause police, but Shit was funny as hell, and I had a good time, my brothers. I couldn't stop laughing. Like, I ended up spitting water all over the damn place. Again, I'm double checking now to see if anything is up here right now. And yeah, we don't have the updated injury report yet. Whenever it does come up, I'll make sure to put it on IG. I'll put it on Twitter as well. And if you guys aren't following me on either one of those social media sites, look, Hammers_House, Hammers.House on IG. I respond to everyone and everything on there. So don't hesitate. Show the support. Show your love. Hit the follow button. He's definitely going to play. There's nothing right now that would say he's not playing. NFL only suspended Frank Clark for 2 games, and he had a Uzi. I think Adams will be okay. God damn, man. Y'all are too much. They said Wall was there, but Tay was not seen out there today. Again, unless we see something in the injury report, I'm not concerned right now. I'm not. Shilmore would be the worst people to hold a presser. Every player would run out crying. That just goes to show that we are the realest motherfuckers out there. hoping we could have got Robert Quinn for us. Again, we got to see what happens. Again, we're a little less than a week away from the trade deadline. At this point, it's so up in the air. We don't know what's going to happen. You hear rumblings here and there that we were looking into this one. We looked into Jack Conklin. I'm going to emphasize when I say his last name so it doesn't sound crazy. Jack Conklin, the tackle for the Cleveland Browns, we've inquired about. But again, at this point, the defensive side of the ball needs to be addressed more than anything else. About a week ago, they were talking about Nelson Aguilar and the revolving door that is the receiver room for us. We still have a bunch of running backs on this depth chart that we don't see on the field. That was money that was wasted. No pun intended. That was money that was wasted, though. We could have had defensive players with that money for a bunch of those guys that we kept, a bunch of those guys that we brought over here. So, I don't know, man. Jose Ortega said moves are happening. I just hope nothing on offense. Exactly. Raiderette for life. Salute. You know what? You've been around long enough. Huge supporter. There you go. There you go. Make sure I did that the right way. Yep. Eagles go. Yeah, that's right. And apparently there was a presser of him crying about it too. Waller practice. Have you played Call of Duty yet? Yes. I had the early access. I played the campaign because that's the only thing you can play until Friday. I completed the campaign, so I have a whole bunch of unlocks. Looking forward to Friday. And if y'all want to squad up, let's change the socials real quickly. If you guys want to squad up on Call of Duty, the Xbox is right there. Hammers.House, it's all one word. If you got PlayStation or PC, there's the Activision ID, Hammers_House, number 329-3652. Yeah, man, we could definitely squad up some Warzone, some Team Deathmatch. I'm all for it. We wasted money on Bolden for sure. There you go. If we get Nelly, I'll be happy. Our offense to a whole nother... What? We have enough. No. And then what does that mean for the defense, though, if we don't address the defense? Captions were there today, but I know Kayate might have had a light day inside, but people never saw him out there. Should be fine. Appreciate you, Joshua. SCOD is dead. Yeah, Waller practice, but how many plays against the Saints will... Damn. The campaign was dope. I actually enjoyed it. And I have not played a Call of Duty campaign in years. So I actually really enjoyed this campaign. And it's probably, again, the fact I haven't played in so long. If the Raiders get Nelly, I really don't want to hear any excuses. Okay? But if we're addressing the offense, why are we not addressing the offensive line? Because, again, our run game is great. Our pass protection is fucking scary right now. Definitely need defensive help. Exactly. We need more defense. Every game can't be a shootout. You're fucking 1,000% correct. You're 1,000% correct with that. Hammer, how can I get you a private message? I'd like to show you what we're doing out here, and I think you would support it. Let me put the social medias up again. There is my Twitter. There is my Instagram. And as you guys see running across the bottom of the screen are all my social medias as well. So that's the best way you can hit me up. You could even email me, Hammers.House3@gmail.com. Every game will be a shootout. Jesus. AC, how realistic is it that we will replace Hankins before the deadline? It's tough to say right now. Like I said, like we really don't know at this point in time exactly what we are doing, like what this organization's doing. Hammer, could we trade Simpson and Lester Cotton and get Payne? Trading 2 offensive linemen for defensive tackle? I doubt it. Numbers, I doubt it. I think if we can let go of somebody like maybe Jonathan Abram or Klee and package like maybe some type of draft capital as well, we could do that. And Joshua was asking that question as I'm answering it. You think we can get Zappy? I'll tell you who you want to hit up for the Zappy answers and Zappy questions. Hit up Graf. That's his guy. Hit him up. Apparently there was reports out there, and again, this is bullshit because we heard this back after the Hall of Fame game against Jacksonville, that apparently that potentially Josh Jacobs is out on the trade block again. I'm going to silence that right now and say that's bullshit. Like, it's... I don't want to hear that. I don't need the mass hysteria starting again with false shit. Jacobs is not getting traded by the deadline, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put that shit to rest before anybody else starts with that shit, because I'm really not... I don't want to hear that again. That shit is fucking annoying as fuck to hear on a... Like, I just don't know where... That is who started that, why it was started, but he's not getting traded. Klee in the 5th for Daron Payne. Mike, that could be it. That could be it. One life. Exactly. Alabama, pay the Alabama beast mode. That's baby beast mode. That's baby beast mode. People, I don't want to do it, man. I didn't want to do it. Like, This is what happens when the media is bored. And you'll never have me do that shit. I wouldn't. Don't say, yeah, why would they do that? It's beyond me. Oh, here we go. We got Phillies fans. We got Astros fans in here. And it begins. I don't give a fuck who wins. Actually, I'm not getting up to go for a hat. But, yeah. I'm not getting up to get a hat to tell you guys who I think is going to win the World Series. I do want to download these. I don't know where to download them to. We do have some additional stuff we're adding to our live streams, and it's going to be some funny shit. It's going to be some shit that you guys are really going to enjoy. But I'm not going to do it today. You said Phillies in 6. The guy just drags the defense into the end zone. Yo, Hammer, last question. If we win 5 in a row, and let's say we get some help, I don't know, we technically don't need him, but how money would we need to go after OBJ? Joshua, OBJ, we're not even on his list of 5 teams to play for. The Chiefs, the Rams, the Ravens, the Bills. There's one more. It is not us. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Hammer, you think our run game smashes again? The things I'm hearing, a shout out to you, Ricardo. I hope you're doing well, brother. The things I'm hearing right now in regards to the Saints defense, they've already given up 200 points, and we're in week 7 right now, week 8. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about that, because again, we can hear that just like we did going into this matchup against the Texans. Oh, they have a trash offensive line, da-da-da-da-da, and then look at what Dameon Pierce was fucking doing to us. Look at what that offensive line did, and look at what Dameon Pierce was doing. So, like, again, I'm taking this one game at a time, and Josh, like, I don't mean to blow off your question. OBJ has a list of 5 teams. We're not one of them. He's not going to be here. and 5 in a row, we need to worry about just taking it one game at a time. Roquan Smith is out there. I don't know what the possibilities are. Again, I gave three potential targets right now, LNM. And actually, funny that you mentioned the name. This is what we opened up with. Roquan Smith is one of my 3 targets right now. Roquan Smith, William Jackson, and Deron Payne. Those are my 3 targets right now as we approach this trade deadline. Everyone making moves except the Raiders. We're still a few days away. I got this hat, NFLshop.com. NFL Shop. On some impulse when I was watching, I think the game against the Broncos, I ordered like three items. I agree. I think just need to keep trying to establish the run and open up. Ricardo, that was the whole that's what I looked at. That's what I looked at when it came to our offense. Like that's what our offense was supposed to be. Especially the fact that we were carrying a depth chart of 6 running backs. It was going to be a ground and pound, run by committee, take the load off of Carr, open up the opportunities for play actions, for screens, for deep balls, pause. And look, it's clicking now. The last 3 weeks, the offense has clicked very, very well, especially with that run game and everything Jacobs is doing right now. I can't take that away from him at all. Was there a YouTube I'd do about... Wait. I don't know anything about that. I'm still trying to get all the Black Raider Nation hat. You got freaking fire. Are you talking about... Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Raider Paul. I swear. People are coming in and they're missing it as we talk about it. LNM Pros just said the same thing, and that's again what we opened up with. Roquan Smith is one of my 3 targets right now. He is one of my 3 targets. Deron Payne is another one. I'm like starting to feel hoarse right now. Deron Payne is another, and so is William Jackson. So those are the 3 guys I'm targeting right now. Those are the 3 guys I want. I've seen something like the Raiders, 3 best teams. So, and shout out to Sean Johnson, because he reached out to me talking about this today in regards to like we're the number 3 in offense. And I'm like, that's all great. I don't care. I don't care about stats. D-Menace, what up? I don't care about stats. I don't numbers and shit like that doesn't matter to me unless we're winning. If we were 4-2, if we were 5-1, all right, we got the 3rd best offense in the league. That cool. We're 2-4. We're ranked 3rd in the league in offense right now. There's nothing to be excited about when you have a losing record and you are currently seeded 11th in the AFC right now. We need to fucking just take everything 1 week at a time. We have to take every single game and play every single game as if there is no tomorrow. Because realistically, there will be no tomorrow if we don't fucking start racking up some wins going down the middle of the schedule right now. We have a lot of teams coming up in the AFC, teams that are ahead of us right now when it comes to where we're seated. We got to fucking turn this shit around again 1 week at a time. But I don't want to hear anything right now about, oh, we're ranked this in offense. Like, it's a cool story, bro. We're 2-4. I don't want to hear that. Take a shot at tequila. Everything's downstairs. I'm not getting up and going downstairs. Hammer, do you think the Raiders will pick up the Browns right tackle? Are we talking about Jack? Hold on. Jack Conklin? Yes, we spoke about him last night during Graphs Live. I don't know. And again, I'm going to keep saying this until I beat my head against a wall. Our number 1 priority right now needs to be the defense, specifically a defensive tackle, and our secondary. I'm not overly concerned about the offensive line right now. Like I said, I like what I saw out of these guys. Having Alex Bars at the right guard, having Dylan Parham at the left guard. It would be nice to have somebody of Jack Conklin's... oh my God, what was the word? I just lost it. Jack Conklin's skill, but... or caliber, rather. That's what I want to say, caliber. But I don't know. And again, we're talking defensive tackles. I'm talking Daron Payne. I wouldn't mind trying to go after Fletcher Cox as well. Fletcher Cox was a guy that we were supposed to have here last year as well. He was another guy that was constantly in the rumor mill when it came to us addressing the D-line last year, and it didn't pan out. I don't know. D-Menace, thank you. Thank you. I don't know, though. I really don't. Those that are on the outside looking in, if you're still on the outside looking in, I don't know what you're doing. If you want to join the rest of this chat with myself and the Raider Nation, if you have any questions, you got to hit that subscribe button. That doesn't cost you anything. Break them thumbs, hit them subs, smash the bell, y'all. And also, if you want to support me and support the channel, the link is pinned to the top, as well as our Hammers.House pink. Yes, our pink merch, as you guys see in the top right corner, the logo is in pink. For Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we do have shirts, we do have hoodies in that pink logo on Bonfire. All the proceeds are going directly to Susan G Komen. You make your purchase, and that the proceeds are going directly to the Susan G Komen Foundation in observance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. 5 days left. Cop your Hammers.House pink merch today. I know, of course, to feed Jacobs and run game, I've been saying that it's going to take time, but what do you think? There's still a chance Carr will start to manage games while passing more? No, this is the thing. The whole purpose of this offense is to take the load off of Carr. We saw what he did this past weekend. 21 of 27 for 241 yards. He had a higher QBR than he did the week before. He had 110.6 2 weeks ago. And this past week, he finished with a QBR of 116.2. Wow. Salute. I think, again, more of the balanced offense is going to be what helps us. We saw a couple of the games earlier in the season where he was throwing ridiculously too much. First game, primarily, where 3 interceptions. We haven't seen any turnovers, knock on wood. But again, the whole purpose of this offense was to take the load off of Derek Carr. And I think right now with what he's doing, he doesn't have to be throwing 300, 350, 400 yards a game to be a good quarterback. You threw 21 of 27 for 241 yards. Josh Jacobs did his thing. You had 1 passing touchdown, which was an incredible catch by Mac Hollins. I'm good with that right now, yo. I'm perfectly fine with that. Just let the offense do its thing right now. And again, let's hope that we can get some moves made before the trade deadline. And he did it. And I saw the record that he broke Marcus Allen's record as well in less games as well. 2 games less. So again, much props to Baby Beast Mode. Just keep doing your thing, bro. Keep doing your thing. And hopefully you're here for a couple more years. I'm hoping another 2, maybe 3. Most definitely. Damn, Adams out with illness. Much scarier hearing that nowadays. The Colts are wasting DeForest Buckner's time. Do you think they'd come up? No. We talked about that last night. I don't think that's going to happen. They're going to be asking for a fucking king's ransom for him. I don't see that happening at this point. I really don't. I'm still waiting for Levi or Paul to send me, but we do have it up now. All right, guys. So here we go. The updated injury report as of literally about 10 minutes ago. Jonathan Abram, Davante Adams, Tashawn Bauer, Cleve Farrell were all out today with an illness. Jayon Brown with the hamstring is limited. Derek Carr back, he was limited. Devon Diablo back, ankle, he did not participate. Jermaine Illuminor knee, he was limited. Mac Hollins heel, he had that same thing last week, he was limited. Josh Jacobs foot, he was limited. Hunter Renfrow still dealing with the hip, he's been limited. DJ Turner, hamstring, limited. Darren Waller, hamstring, limited. Martin Truther, that's fire. That's a dope name. Welcome to the vault. Welcome to the official, the original, the only house. Thank you for becoming a subscriber to the channel. Again, if you guys are on the outside of this chat and wondering why, it's because you're not subscribed to the channel. Break them thumbs, hit them subs, smash the bell, y'all. So that's the Saints. That is the Raiders injury report. The Saints side of the ball now. Michael Thomas, foot, did not participate. Jarvis Landry, ankle, did not participate. Tight end Adam Troutman, ankle, did not participate. Cornerback Marshawn Lattimore, which a lot of people have been asking about. Abdomen, he did not participate. Guard Andrews Pete, chest, he was limited. Wide receiver Keith Kirkwood, ankle, he was limited. Paulson Adebo, corner, knee, limited. Ryan Ramczyk, the tackle, rest, he was limited. Guard Calvin Throckmorton, hip, he was a full participant. DN Peyton Turner, chest, he was full. And Jameis Winston, back and ankle, was full participant. So last week, Jameis Winston was active, but they had already said that Andy Dalton was going to be the starter. We do not know this coming Sunday who the starter is going to be. But as of right now, that is your updated injury report as we begin Week 8 practices. Our game is Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time from the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. We will be battling the New Orleans Saints, so you guys don't want to miss that. And again, I will be live. I'm doing a live stream of the game. I'm hoping to get Wasted to come down as well. It should definitely be an awesome, awesome day. And like I said, I'm going to have a very special guest. He might pull up right in front of the camera. He might not. But I'm going to try to maybe even have that special guest come on just before kickoff so he can settle in and enjoy the game as well. So we should see. The starter is Dalton. Shout out to Garrett Connick, another new member to the Vault. Welcome to the official, the original, the only house. Welcome to Hammers.House. Thank you for becoming a new subscriber. Much appreciated. Say something in the chat just so you know you're welcomed. So Dalton is starting. If we lose to the fucking Red Rocket, Red Rifle, whatever they call him at this point, yeah. All right, so there you go. Dalton is going to be starting. This should be a very interesting game. Hammer, should we trade for LaMarcus Joyner to pair? No. That was a couple of years ago. So yeah. I really am like feeling, I don't know what the hell. I might have to get some tea. Actually, no, I'm going to have a shot when I finish. We've been on an hour already. Why is Adams questionable? Is he hurt? No, he's sick, Bill Gates. And he's not questionable. Who said, whoa. There's no game status right now for these guys. It was the first practice of the week. Davante Adams is dealing with an illness alongside Jonathan Abram, Tashawn Bauer, and Cleve Farrell. It's an illness. They just did not participate today. They're not out. It's an illness. Illness. And that explains why Tay wasn't at the presser either. He's dealing with an illness right now. Do we know what exactly it is? No. Let's leave it alone. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's only Wednesday. Him, again, Davante Adams, Jonathan Abram, Tashawn Bauer, and Cleve Farrell did not participate in practice today due to an illness. Let's just leave it alone for now. We have plenty of time. We're good. Great clarification. There you go. Don't hit the panic button. Not just yet. Freaking Raiders defense has a knack of making back QBs look like Hall of Famers. Wasn't it Mullen a couple of years ago? Andy throws dimes to the team. We got to get one. Look, I said it last night. If Jameis Winston was starting, he was probably going to throw 3 or 4 picks. But now we got to worry about Dalton. Nah, I'm not going to say worry. But look, we play our game. We do our jobs. That's it. Bourbon, salute, brother. Appreciate you pulling on up. I could use some bourbon right now. Oh, man, that hurt. Let's see, am I missing? He said, please address. I addressed. I gave you a clarification. All right, y'all. We've been on for over an hour. It's almost 6. Actually, it is 6:30. I thought my other brother would be on. Should I just hang for a little bit? I'm going to just hang for a little bit. JT, what's good, bro? Roasted Raider. Yo, what's up, Hammer? I have DC on fantasy. He just became questionable also. Don't want to alert the nation, but is everything cool? So with Carr, it was a back. He was just limited. He did participate. He was just limited. He was doing the presser. They didn't even ask him about his back, so we're good. The lie detector determined that was a lie. 118 people in here and 68 likes. Keep using them hammers and smack. There you go. Holly, what's good? Yeah, I'm just starting to get tired and like I'm feeling a little hoarse right now. Got to get swerving on some cherry flavored bourbon. Oh, ooh, that sounds good right now. Of course. Yo, look, this is what I'm here for. I'm here for you guys. I can answer whatever questions you ask, and I try to be on top of this as much as possible. Like, I love doing this, and I'm not gonna stop realistically, and probably until I'm in a grave. Like, I'm just putting it out there. I will probably do this until like I'm old and super gray. So yeah, I ain't going nowhere, y'all. Like I said, I thought Wasted would be on right now, but I guess not. Not worried about Dalton. It will be running game. So Sheldon, I talked about this last night. The two guys that I'm more concerned about than anything right now, Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara. Most definitely. Those are the two guys I was most worried about. Do you think that they just moved on from Quinn? And again, Bambino, you must have just come in. Like, we've talked about it. Roquan Smith is one of my 3 targets. William Jackson, Roquan Smith, and Deron Payne are my guys right now. So the thing with Waller is this dude was doing wonders in Gruden's offense, right? That was 2020 where he was really doing his thing. Last season, he missed more than half of the games. And that's where I'm at the point now where, like, we gave this dude a bag and he's not doing anything. And now he's hurt with this hamstring. He was at practice today. They said he was limited, but it's such... I think about it as you had 2 years remaining on your contract. We should have just been on, like, show and prove this year, stay healthy an entire season, then we'll talk about an extension down the road. But it's so fucking tough to even talk about it now. Any chance you make it out to Vegas for the New Year's game? No. I even thought about the Patriots game the week before Christmas. I don't know at this point in time if I'm going to be able to get to... I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the opportunity to get back to Vegas this season, but we'll see. How often you go live? Pretty much it's been every day now, just about. I schedule it when I can. Other times I just hit the live button, but now that I've made my transition a couple of months back, I try to be on as much as possible. We are on the road to 5K, another huge milestone that would mean the world to me if we can do it. A little over a year and 2 weeks ago, we hit 1,000 subscribers. We're a little over 4,100 right now. I would love to be at well over 5,000 by the season's end, but it doesn't happen without you guys spreading the word. Marcos, if you've been watching recently, I think people have noticed, especially since we've been back. I have been. Look, when I sit here and I'm by myself, I'm able to just go off and speak on everything, and that's what I try my best to do. When I'm with my brothers, I try to do the best as well, but I'm also the type of person who doesn't like to step on people's toes. But I got you. What about Fletcher Cox from the Eagles? What would it take to get Payne? Probably one of our... I would try to trade Klee and maybe a third or a fourth. I'm not even being funny about that, Sean. Probably Klee and maybe a third. Look, apparently the Eagles had shown interest in Klee Farrell before, alongside a couple of other teams allegedly. So, Klee and maybe a third. Look, he was owed $9.98 million this year, but we are in the middle of the season, so he's probably owed like maybe $4.5. I don't see why not. It'll be a battle of the Bay game. We can't let the Winers take over home. That's a fact. Appreciate everybody that's sitting here. I still cannot believe I've been on here for over an hour, and it's 6:30 here. I got out of work 2 hours ago, thank goodness. And I got out because I wanted to get on here with you guys and do these pressers, and go figure, Tay wasn't there. And again, guys, please don't panic. But Jonathan Abram, Davante Adams, Deshaun Bauer, and Khalil Farrell did not participate due to illness. It's only Wednesday. I'm going to channel my inner Aaron Rodgers when I say this to y'all, because I know how some of you guys get. But please, RELAX. Relax. It's only Wednesday. We don't have to worry right now. Bro, you're all good. Again, like, this is the only thing. I was expecting both guys, and then we got the injury report, and it all added up why Tay wasn't at the presser. No, a 5th round? I'm not saying anything because I can't, but it will be sound. Oh, God help me. Hammers, should the Raiders go trade for Marcus Peters? He's owed too much money right now. I do that deal. Payne would be a beast. So, yep. Tubby was good. Everyone should be tested again Friday. Hey, Seuss, appreciate you pulling on up. Word on the curb is that their illness was a simple run. Oh, Jesus. Eating that bad fucking all-you-could-eat buffet in Vegas. I heard that shit'll fuck you up. I don't know. Guys, I'm going to go. Even though we have 110 people in here right now, how many likes? Somebody tell me how many likes we have. I'm looking at myself, pause. But I can't see anything like that, so that doesn't help me. Clean Abram in a 3rd for a top 30 DT. Would you do it? Conversations, would you do it? Come on, man. Hit those like buttons, y'all. And if you're on the outside looking in, hit the subscribe button. That's the way you can join the chat. Come on, y'all. I would tell you exactly what we're at numbers-wise, but I don't know. Texans released Camus, Grugler, Hill, and what is he like? Is he a serviceable person? Is he like a top-tier linebacker? Because if not, I don't want him right now. I'm trying to find something, and I can't find it. This goes to show I'm really fucking out of it. We're at 41-31 right now, so I'm not a mathematician, but I think that's 869 away. Something like that. Yeah, 869 away from 5K, y'all. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. That's great. Sue was seen in Vegas, but he's not coming here. We're not signing him this late in the season for what he wanted either. You want to sign him for like $4.5 million. But then we have to wait for him to be football ready, and that's going to take 4 weeks for him? No. That's not happening. I don't even have thing right now. Like I actually had my Woodson whiskey right on this desk, and I took it downstairs the other day. And there's my work email. It's just a matter of what, who, and what, man. Like, we got a week. We got a little under a week. Next Tuesday is the deadline, so it is what it is. All right. Guys, I'm going to roll out. I appreciate everybody that pulled on up, and if you didn't on the way out, break them thumbs, hit them subs, smash the bell for all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, and reactions right here in the official, the original, the only house, Hammers.House. We will be back probably tomorrow, and we will do our matchup preview. I might end up doing a 2-for-1 on Sunday with the stardom sit-em, and then I'll probably go right into the game right after. Again, I will be live on the Jersey Shore and gonna have a very special guest pull up as well. Appreciate y'all. Spread the word for this channel. Again, I just looked at it. We're 869 away from 5K. Spread the word. Tell a friend and tell a friend. They won't be disappointed with this Raider content either. Much love to everybody. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. We got to take this seriously now, too, with these guys with illnesses. COVID and monkeypox is around. Remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Shields up, y'all. Till next time.